The little green confirmation screen glowed on my phone, a digital monument to my sacrifice. $400 transferred. I could almost feel the money leaving my own life. The new pair of sneakers I wouldn't buy, the nice dinner with friends I'd skip, the constant low-level anxiety about my own rent, and flying across the country to fix a problem. On the other end of the line, my mom's voice was thick with relief, warm and syrupy like honey. "Oh, honey, it came through. Thank you, thank you. You are our lifesaver, you really are." I leaned back against my worn-out couch, a wave of pride washing over me. This was why I worked the extra shifts. This was why I ate ramen for dinner 3 nights a week. To be their lifesaver. "Of course, Mom," I said, my voice chipper. "Anything for you and Dad. Is everything okay now? Will this cover the electric bill?" There was a slight pause. "Oh, yes. This will sort everything right out. We love you so much." I smiled. "I love you guys too. Talk to you soon." I heard a faint click, but it sounded distant, not like a phone hanging up. I was about to disconnect myself when she forgot the one crucial step, to actually end the call. Her voice came through again, but it was different. The warmth was gone, replaced by a casual, almost bored tone. "Okay, he's off," she said, clearly not to me. I froze, my thumb hovering over the red end call button. It was my dad's voice that answered, muffled but clear. "Did she send it?" he asked. "Yep," my mom replied. "The full 400, right on schedule." Right on schedule? My heart started a slow, heavy drumbeat against my ribs. I'd always imagined them waiting by the phone, wringing their hands, over a past due notice, not waiting for a scheduled payment. "Perfect," my dad said with a sigh of satisfaction. "Add that to the cruise fund. At this rate, we'll have the balcony suite paid off by next month." The words hit me like a physical blow. Cruise fund, balcony suite. The air in my tiny apartment suddenly felt thin, suffocating. My mind raced, trying to make sense of it. It had to be a joke, a misunderstanding. But my mom's next words shattered any hope of that. "I know, right? Poor thing. I could hear her worrying about our electric bill again. It's almost too easy." She laughed. A light, airy sound that made my stomach churn with acid. It was the same laugh I'd heard my whole life at birthday parties and family dinners, but now it sounded monstrous, mocking. "She probably thinks we're eating canned beans and toast," Dad added, his voice dripping with amusement. "If only she knew we were deciding between the Caribbean and Alaska." I felt a cold dread creep up my spine, a chilling realization that my entire reality for the past 2 years had been a carefully constructed lie. The story of Dad's back injury that kept him from working his construction job, Mom's hours being cut at the library, the endless parade of unexpected expenses, the broken water heater, the car repairs, the emergency dental work, it had all been a script. And I was the star, the dutiful daughter, playing my part perfectly. I thought of my life. My shoes had holes in the soles that I'd covered with duct tape. My fridge contained half a carton of eggs, some wilting lettuce, and a bottle of hot sauce. I hadn't been on a real date in a year because I couldn't afford to even split a check. Every spare dollar, every ounce of my energy was funneled into a black hole I called helping my parents. I wasn't their lifesaver. I was their sponsor. Their personal grant for a life of leisure, funded by my youth and my struggle. The pride I felt just moments before curdled into a hot, bitter shame. I wasn't helping them survive. I was helping them lie. The phone was still connected. I could hear them debating the pros and cons of a formal night on the cruise ship. Their voices were so normal, so blissfully unaware that their entire scheme had been exposed. They weren't evil villains. They were just selfish. They saw my Love and my sense of duty not as a gift, but as a resource to be exploited. A reliable income stream. Quietly, so quietly my own ears could barely register the sound, I pressed the red button and ended the call. The silence that followed was deafening. I looked at my phone, at the banking app still open. I thought about the next emergency that would inevitably pop up in a few weeks. I thought about the next time my mom would call me, her voice trembling with fake worry. I thought about the next $400 I was supposed to send. Then, with a clarity that was both terrifying and liberating, I made a decision. I opened my browser and looked up the sneakers I'd been wanting for months. They were expensive, but not as expensive as a balcony suite on a Caribbean cruise. I added them to my cart. Then I texted my friends and asked if they were free for that new Italian restaurant downtown this weekend, my treat. The phone buzzed a few minutes later. It was my mom. A picture of a cruise ship in a sparkling blue ocean with a caption, "Someday we can dream, can't we? Love you." I stared at the message, the lie so blatant it was almost funny. I didn't reply. I just put my phone down, took a deep breath, and for the first time in a very long time, I started thinking about my own dreams. Their cruise could wait. My life was just setting sail.